I am excited to be here. So let's talk about the first visit to your in-laws. What should you expect? What are the do's and the don'ts? How do you make a good lasting first impression? Because I know that this kind of visit usually comes with a surge of anxiety because you don't know what to expect. You are going for the first time, you are visiting your in-laws for the first time, you don't know what to do, you don't know what to expect. So there is usually the surge in anxiety. So in this video, I'll be talking about what to do, what not to do, how to make a good lasting first impression. If you remember in my previous video, or if you have watched the previous video, I once talked about how it is very important to make a good first impression. You don't have a second chance to make a good first impression, and that is why it is the first impression in the first place. First impressions are very important because it is the memory, it is the building block, it is the foundation of the memories you have about those persons you are meeting. So it's better be a good one. Generally, people make assumptions about the person they are meeting within the first 3 minutes. They make assumptions of whether they like the person, whether they don't like the person, the way the person comports his or herself, and every other thing within the first 3 minutes. And that is why first impression matters. So visiting your in-laws for the first time, what should you expect? What should you do? What should you not do? And when I'm talking about the in-laws, I'm talking about your father-in-law, your mother-in-law, the brothers and sisters to your fiancé or fiancé, and every other people you are going, or every other persons you are going to meet in that meeting. You know, some people have a big family, and they might invite uncles and aunties, I don't know, it depends on the family. But depending on those people you are going to meet, how do you comport yourself? How do you carry yourself with grace and elegance? What do you do when you visit your in-laws? Because most times when we talk about in-laws, the first thing that comes to mind is the mother-in-law. Because we have seen, or we have taken mother-in-laws to be wicked people. This wicked mother-in-law mentality. But no, it doesn't have to be so. So erase that from your mind. Because when you go with that fear of, my mother-in-law, how is she going to treat me? Hey, I have heard about wicked mother-in-laws. I hope my mother-in-law is not wicked. It has created an environment of fear inside of you already. And I don't want you to go to visit your in-laws with fear. Besides, a new generation of mother-in-laws are arising. I can bet it with you, there are still good mother-in-laws that will take you as their own child. And this is a challenge for every lady, single, or every woman married, watching me right now, that you can be a good mother-in-law. We can change that stereotype of people seeing mother-in-laws as wicked. So this is a challenge for everyone. Be a good mother-in-law. And if you're single, work on being a good mother-in-law. Alright, so we'll take a little break and I'll meet you in a few seconds.
Godly, industrious, prudent, discerning, wise, understanding, elegant, compassionate, kind, valuable, virtuous, fruitful. Welcome to Godly Women Matters. Welcome to Godly Women Matters. My name is Roslyn Nelson. Welcome to Godly Women Matters. Once again, my name is Roslyn Nelson. I welcome you all to Godly Women Matters. My name is Roslyn Nelson.
You're welcome. Now, visiting your in-laws, different questions will come to mind. Should you go with gift? Should you not go with the gift? How should you dress? How should you comport yourself? How should I greet? We have different cultures, so how will I be able to blend with the cultures, meeting them for the first time? All of these are those things that I am going to talk about in this video. The first thing I'm going to say is, don't visit without their permission. Make sure they are aware that you are visiting, the time, the day you're going to be visiting. And if they have scheduled a time with you, some of the parents are busy, they have their jobs, and they might likely give you a scheduled time, come between this time frame to this time frame. If they have given you a time to visit, make sure you keep to time. I understand Different things can happen. There are things that can happen within our control. If in the process of going there, you discovered you won't be able to meet up with the time due to a delay, due to traffic, due to any other thing that you met on the way, make sure you communicate with them. Oh, please, I am on my way. I should be there in some minutes. Because of this, I am a little bit delayed. Communicate in the process, but make sure by all means that you don't go there late, and make sure they are aware that you would be visiting. Don't just barge into their privacy. Don't just visit and this is not a surprise visit. You are going to visit your in-laws, so they should be aware that you are visiting. Number 2, ask your partner before embarking on the journey about the traditions, the philosophies, the beliefs guiding the family. Different family have their traditions. I'm not even talking about the general traditions now. I'm talking about family rules, family traditions, family cultures, family beliefs. So ask your partner to be, ask your fiance or fiancé, what are the family's tradition, the family beliefs, the family rules. Don't just get overly excited and run out of control. Know what to expect. Ask your partner about the culture. How do you greet? Yes, I understand there might be different cultures, different tribes. Know what is expected of the parents in greeting. You are visiting for the first time. I know you have your culture, but for this period of time that you are visiting, it is important because now you are coming to their territory. It's important you greet according to their own culture. Note, I'm not saying you should go and be pretending. Yes, you don't kneel down to greet, but now you are coming to your husband whose tradition is for you to kneel down and to greet. First impression is very important. All of this will make the first few minutes of your visit friendly, interesting, good atmosphere. Imagine they're expecting you to kneel down and greet, and you came and you say hi papa or hi mama, and already that has sown a seed in their mind that, oh, so she can't kneel down to greet us. This is disrespect, because in their culture it is disrespect, right? So already within that first few minutes that you are seeing them, you have planted a seed of disrespect in them. Another thing still under this point on asking questions before visiting is for you to learn their languages, especially if you have different languages, you're from different tribes and you speak different languages. I'm not saying you should learn the whole language, but because you would be going to visit them and there's no way you are going to greet them. So you can just learn one or two words. How do they greet in your language? You can ask your spouse, you can make research. How do they greet in your language? What are those things I need to know, as per greetings? They are not expecting you to speak their language because they know you are not from their tribe. But do you know the impression it gives when all of a sudden you came and you are greeting them in their language? They'll be like, oh, so you're making efforts to learn our language. Oh, that's good. That is a good environment to start with already. And you can tell if you're able to start on that note, it is going to finish on that note. I'm able to say this because it was one of those things I did when I was visiting my in-law for the very first time. I am an Igbo, my husband is from Edo. We speak their different languages. Though if the Edo are speaking their language, it has little of Igbo in it, so you'll be able to know what they are saying. But they have their language that I needed to know. So I have to ask questions, In the process of asking questions, I knew some, just one word, just two words, Elebeki Jeko, And I tried to, in the process of asking my husband to be there, in the process of talking, it told me some things, how the names they used to call their father and their mother, they don't just call daddy, mommy. There is this particular name they used to call them. So I caught hold of that. When I visited, it was easy for me to greet them and to say, oh, mommy this, mommy that, and they were so excited. Oh, how did you know about this name? And we started on a friendly note. So it's very important. Ask some of those questions. What are those things you need to know, so that it would help you to be able to blend well. You will not just be going there. Yes, you are new, you're visiting for the first time, but you would know what to expect. You would know the kind of persons they are. And I tell you, I have the best in-laws in the world. If you want to dispute the fact, type in the comment section, tell me your own. You have the best in-laws in the world. For me, I have the best in-laws in the world. And if you know them, please say thank you on my behalf. Alright, so another thing under this asking of questions before visiting your in-laws is the point of make research about those people you are going to be meeting. Do they have a big family? Is it going to be a big family gathering, or is it going to be restricted to just the father, the mother, and the siblings? Who are those you are expecting? What is it about? You don't have to know every details, but just know little things about them. This is very important because let me just cite this example. Imagine they have a big family, even if it's a small family, probably the brother or the sister to your fiance, to your partner. Probably the person lost his wife, or the person is looking up to God for the fruits of the womb. And because you want to be friendly, you want to, visiting for the first time, you want them to have a good impression about you. And you go ahead to, in the process of greeting, and you say, oh, how is your family? How is your wife? How is your children? How is everything, And you are doing it with a good mindset. But because this individual, you don't know, this individual just lost his wife, or this individual don't even have a child, is still looking up to God for the fruits of the womb, yes, they'll understand that you are meeting them for the first time. But at that moment, you just caused pain for that individual. Yes, he might not take it too serious because he knows you are visiting for the first time and you don't know about him. But it is important that some things be avoided. So try to know just minute details about the people you are going to be meeting in that meeting. Number 3, don't go without a gift. Don't ever go empty-handed. This might sound cliche, but please don't avoid this. Make sure you go with something, no matter how small, what you can afford. You don't have to go with, you're not going to bribe them, so you don't have to go with 20 wrappers for your mother-in-law and, all those things. You're not going to bribe them. You're not going to make them see you as expensive so that, okay, they will allow you marry their daughter or their son, right? It is just customary and it speaks well of you when you go with something. It can be wine, it can be perfumes, it can be packaged food. You can carry your partner to be along on what you want to buy so that you wouldn't make the mistake of getting those things that they are allergic to, or those things that they don't like. For example, I know we are believers here, but I just want to cite this example because that's the best example that comes to mind. Okay, like you are going to visit a Christian family that doesn't believe in alcohol, and just because you want to get them wine, you want to get them fruit, you went to buy a non-alcoholic drink. For that is a turn off already, because they are not going to take it, they are not going to, and at the same time they wouldn't like to gift it out, because what they don't take they wouldn't give out. So that's just a waste and they won't appreciate that gift. That is just an example that comes to my mind right now, so that you wouldn't get things that they won't appreciate. In the process of getting the gift, carry your husband, your spouse to be along in the selection of things that you are going to present when you visit. Hello, yes, I said you shouldn't be too expensive. You don't have to get 20 wrappers for your mother-in-law. I said that, but at the same time, don't be too cheap. Don't be cheap. Don't be cheap. Don't be cheap. I know why I said that. Not when you're on the way and you remember, oh, I have not gotten something for my in-laws, and you decide, okay, bread, in the traffic, and you just got bread in the traffic and you present to them. It can be part of the gift, right? But do something different. It shouldn't just be that roadside bread. They have been eating lots of roadside breads, Just get something. Don't be cheap. Don't be cheap. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't be cheap. Number 4, my dear listeners, offer real compliments. You have no business with offering false compliments that that they are not true. You don't have to say things that are not true. Compliment those things that are real. Okay, when you get to the house and you see that the environment is okay, the setting is okay, you can compliment it. Oh, what a nice setting. Oh, this place is peaceful and serene. You can see all of those. But imagine you visit and the sitting room is the setting is not nice, or you don't have to say, when you know that it is not nice, you don't have to go on and say, oh, I love this sitting room, it's so beautiful. They know at the back of their mind, they know that it's not beautiful. So when you are saying that, you are creating an impression that you are not, they won't trust you. They won't trust you with things that matters, because they know that you will just say what they want to hear. You will just say things that are suiting to them. So next time they won't trust you with things that matters. So you don't even have to talk about it if it is not. But if it is, then offer real compliments. Don't fake it. Don't say things that are not. They know those things that are okay. They know those things that are not okay. So don't try to sugarcoat it because you want to gain audience from them. Don't try to sugarcoat it because you want their approval. Don't try to sugarcoat it because you want to marry their son or their daughter. It only creates the impression that you are a people pleaser, and as a result, they won't trust you with things that matter another time. On to the next, number 5. Remember to dress well. I mean, dress comfortably, dress put together. Let your dressing speak. I did not say dress extravagantly, dress modest, but let your dressing speak. Let your dressing tell of the kind of person that you are. Then compose yourself. I know you have probably made a long journey before getting there. That is not the time for you to show all the stress on your face and then sit one kind and then open your lap, so I am tired, or you decide to put your leg on the couch like you would do in your own house. As a man, dress responsibly. You don't have to dress like I don't know, I don't want to mention any profession here. Don't wear rumpled clothes and shoes that looks like what I ordered versus what I got, even if it's one shirt, even if it's that lovely shirt that you have, iron it and look good. Remember, first impression sticks, and you don't have a second chance to make a first impression. Yes, you can recover from a first bad impression. I have the video, making a first impression, and the other one, recovering from the first bad impression. But the truth is, the recovery takes process. And even with that recovery, you still can't erase the first impression. So first impression matters. Dress responsibly, dress well. Now I'm talking to the brothers and the sisters. Pick an outfit that is appropriate for that visit, that is appropriate for the occasion. If you're meeting them at home, or probably it's an outdoor meeting, pick the outfit that is appropriate for that visit, because you want to look comfortable. You don't want to sit and be adjusting your skirt and be pulling it down, because probably you're sitting on the couch and there's no how, when you sit and you retract a bit, your skirt will come up a bit, and you don't want to be doing like this and be uncomfortable. Pick an outfit that is appropriate for that visit. Number 6, now in the process of the conversation, only talk when necessary. If you are being asked a question, answer diplomatically. I know you are extroverted. Don't cut in when your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, or anybody is speaking. Don't cut in, don't interrupt their talk. Yes, wait for them to finish talking before you can put or offer your own contribution or give an answer to whatever they are asking you. And at the same time, don't run off the mill with your answers. They ask you a simple question: where are you from? Who are your parents? And you start, oh, my parents, oh, we are from this, we are from that. My parents, they are this and that. When they gave birth to me, this and that and that. Oh, we are welding in our family, this and that, And you start saying things that they did not even ask you, just because you want to make them see who you are. You don't run off the mill with your answers. Remember, all of these tiny and minute details, they are not in them. You are coming to take their brother or their sister, their son or their daughter. You are coming to take, so they have to know. It's like all eyes are on you. They are looking at how you comport yourself, how you speak, how you talk, I'm not saying you should go and disguise. I'm not saying you should go and pretend, but comport yourself. Because then, even if I am the one and my brother brings a lady, that, okay, auntie or my sister, this is somebody I want to marry, I would do the same, because this is somebody I want to commit my brother to, for the rest of his life. You understand? It is for better, for worse. So I will do the same. I will look at you, I will look at your comportment, I will look at, I will look at everything about you. So please behave yourself and act maturely, because it would help, and it would also give them this impression that, oh, my son, my daughter, my brother or sister is going to be married to a good person, or he or she is in a good hands. Number 7, this is for the introverted ones. I know you don't like, it is very important in conversations, and it is good that you build on this. It is very important in conversations that you look into the eye of the person you're speaking with. I'm not saying you should fix your eye, not shaking, not blinking, no. But it is good in the process of conversing that you look into the eye of the person you're speaking with, and intermittently you can just, right? So what I am saying, this particular point is for the introverted. Don't go there and be pressing your phone because you don't want to look at your in-law eyeball to eyeball, probably when they are speaking to you. That is not the time. Probably when they are talking and you just pick up your phone and they are playing game just to while away time. I don't know what to say, and you are playing game and you're talking. They are normal conversation ethics. And when you are stayed and glued to your phone, it gives the impression, like generally, not just to your in-laws, it gives the impression that you don't value the time of the person that is in front of you. You don't value that time, and that is why you are on your phone, not looking at the individual, but your head bent, pressing the phone, playing game. Even if your face is up and you're always like this pressing phone, it shows lack of maturity. It shows that you are not bold, you are not confident in yourself, you are not confident in the things you can do. Number 8, I know there is no how you are going to visit that they won't offer you something, probably drink or food, a prepared meal, that they won't offer you there, or even if it's water, they are going to offer you something. So actively look for ways to help. Probably it was your mother-in-law that was coming with a glass of water, or trying to set the table to serve you a meal. Don't just sit down there and say, Shebi, I am the visitor here, it's my mother-in-law serving me, it's my first time. So no, look for ways to help. Mom, how can I